Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dharma Helper, and this is DH Reviews. This is my Season 1, Episode 4 review of Scorpion. If you want to watch my other Scorpion reviews, there will be a link in the description of this video to the playlist that I created that has all of my Scorpion reviews in it, as well as an annotation here behind me on the screen. Earlier this week, I put out my Season 1, Episode 4 reviews of Gotham, and my Season 2, Episode 4 review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And those will be linked in the description of this video as well for you to check that out if you're interested in those series and my thoughts on those series. With that being said, Season 1, Episode 4 of Scorpion was called Shorthanded, and the main story of this episode was it was their first mission as Scorpion, the company, without Cabe and the FBI since they joined that task force. It's their first solo mission since Scorpion was sort of attached to Cabe's agency and to the Homeland Security aspect of it. And it goes about as well as you actually would expect it to go. The mission itself, the job for this episode was that the team were going to go to Las Vegas and figure out why this particular casino was losing money. And they go to Las Vegas and they figure out why the casino's losing money, and they upgrade the casino security. And over the course of the job, the casino is robbed, and Walter is framed for the robbery. And so that sets up the conflict for this episode, is how the team operates without Walter, and how they can free Walter and clear his name and figure out who it was that robbed this casino and what was going on with that. And so that's the basic story of the episode. And so let's talk about what happened with the team this episode, and let's start with Walter. As I said, Walter is framed for the robbery, and they have all this evidence that's against him, and they find the money in his hotel room and stuff like that. And the main thing we see with Walter in this episode is how his behavior and his almost belligerent nature is more of a detriment to himself and a detriment to the team. We saw that previously with the Marines and how he had a conflict with the Marines. We saw that very briefly with in the first episode with the air traffic control guys and how he was constantly bickering and sort of one-upping people. And we saw that with when he first met Paige, when he says that she has anemia and all this stuff. So his belligerent nature and his sort of smart, his holier-than-thou sort of the way that he carries himself and how smart he is, that really gets him into a lot of trouble in this episode, with the judge and everything like that, and with the dealer at the casino. And to me, that was fun to watch, because it goes back to what I said in my last review, where I said that the team is going to have problems, and Toby pointed out that Walter's essentially a narcissist, and he's got all these tendencies with narcissism. And it goes back to that idea of forming this team is not going to be easy, and if their leader is not willing to compromise his mentality of I'm right, you're wrong, that's going to be a real hindrance to the team moving forward, and I'm glad we got to see that in this episode. Other than that, from Walter, we also saw a little bit of humor and a little bit of a funny side to Walter when he's in the court and he talks to Toby and he's like, he says, the bet's off, Toby, win me my bail money and all this stuff. And that was my favorite line of the episode, was that humor, not only the line itself, but the physical humor of him being kind of dragged through the courtroom and all that. That was very good to see, that he's not, just going to be a very serious sort of smart aleck, almost, if you ever saw The Social Network, Mark Zuckerberg, in The Social Network, that kind of very monotone, very serious, very superior attitude type of a character. But we're actually seeing him, be a little bit funny and be friendly towards the team and stuff like that. And I'm glad we got to see that out of Walter. Transitioning to the next person I want to talk about on the team would be Happy. And in this episode, Happy really steps up her game and really shows a little bit more, compounding on what we already saw in the last episode and how she saved the day there. She has that whole plan about zip-lining through the casino and stuff like that. And we really get to see Happy again, like I wanted. In my other reviews, I talk about how I want to see more from Happy, and we're actually seeing more from Happy this episode. And we're seeing her, not only her ingenuity and her ideas about the zip line to get into the casino, but she has that scene with Paige where she calculates the trajectory of the bullet and stuff like that when they're being robbed, and she pushes Paige out of the way. And so those two are bonding a little bit more, and I think that was a very smart decision on the part of the show. And I am enjoying so far what we're seeing out of Happy and how we're seeing what was an antisocial behavior start to warm up to Paige and start to warm up to interaction with people. Because like I said in my last review and in the last episode, she kind of says to Paige, I know what you're trying to do, but I just need to be left alone. And then she has her moment with Toby, and I think it was the pilot, where she says that people will let you down, but tools won't. Or maybe that was the second episode. One of the episodes, early episodes, she said, people will let you down, but tools won't. And then she goes up into the barbecue. So she's, again, becoming more social and becoming a little bit more involved in that aspect of things. And that was very important for her character, I think. And that goes back to Paige sort of adding that emotional idea to the team. And speaking about Paige, in this episode, we see the most growth, I think, out of Paige that we've seen in the first 4 episodes of the series here. She started off as this waitress in a diner, and in 4 episodes, she's ziplining off a roof into a casino in Las Vegas and dropping rope down a ventilation shaft to kind of save her friend Happy during their, I want to call it a heist or an Ocean's 11 moment. But, you know, that growth and just to see where she's gone in a very short amount of time and how she's adjusted to the team and to Homeland Security and the FBI, that was impressive, and I'm glad we're seeing that progression for that character. And I want to see more from her and Ralph. Again, like I talked about in my other reviews, more from that point of view. But she rallies the troops in this episode. She says, we can't give up on Walter. We have to do this. We have to do that. And she keeps them on track. And again, that's her role in the team is sort of solidifying over the course of these first couple of episodes. And she really keeps everybody focused and keeps everybody on track. And she has that speech in the motel where she kind of, Sylvester calls her the new Walter. And you know, that really was, like I said, an important part of her character for these first couple of episodes. And I'm glad, like I said, that her and Happy got their moment and their sort of interaction. Talking a little bit about Sylvester. Sylvester in this episode, we see, again, going back to that idea of how each member of the team have their problems and how each member of the team sort of hinders the team in a different aspect. We see Sylvester, in my mind, is the most reliant on the team and the most reliant on Walter in particular out of everybody on the team. He's almost like a kid in that he can't drive, and when Walter gets arrested, he's kind of like a chicken with his head cut off. He's a little bit lost. And like I said, he calls Paige the new Walter. And to me, he's looking for that direction. He's looking for somebody who can lead and tell him what to do and help him and support him. And I'm going to be interested to see if there comes a point in the series or even in the season where we see Sylvester step up and Sylvester take charge and Sylvester lead maybe a mission or lead Happy or Toby and sort of take that role and take that independence into himself. I think if we see that, that would be a nice arc for his character for the season, or even, like I said, just over the course of the entire series. And I think if anybody can help him do that, it'll be Cabe and his tough love and all that stuff. Because I think Paige is just going to nurture him and support him, and Walter's going to nurture him and support him. And the only person I think who will help his actual confidence and sort of push him away from the nest, so to speak, would be Cabe, and I hope that they get to interact a little bit better. And wrapping up my thoughts on characters, Toby in this episode has a very important episode. And that's basically going back to the fact that he's got that gambling problem, and obviously the mission is in Las Vegas. And so the main sort of conflict for him in this episode was how to deal with that. And again, Toby and Walter make that bet at the beginning of the episode where Toby is not supposed to bet for the entire duration of their mission. And then when Walter gets arrested, the bet is off and Toby is allowed to gamble and try to get his bail money at, I think, $500,000. And they get about halfway there, and Toby has a very serious sort of dilemma and a breakdown, and he bets all of their money on the roulette wheel and loses it. So seeing that, again, going back to that theme of the fact that everybody has their problems, and their problems are a hindrance to the team, seeing Toby's gambling manifest itself in this episode was very important for his character. And another very important aspect for his character was his relationship with Walter, and how he they have that scene where he says he recognizes that Walter has all this faith in him and all this trust in him, and he feels like he owes Walter a great deal because Walter has a lot of faith and trust in him, and Walter gives him a second chance. And he feels like he let Walter down this episode, and they had their moment and all this stuff. And again, seeing the softer side of Toby, who is, like I said in my other reviews, more the comic relief, I thought that was a very nice addition to the episode. And seeing their relationship, the team's relationships start to shake out and start to develop. We've seen Paige and Happy, we've seen Sylvester and Walter, we've seen Toby and Walter, and we've seen a lot of all these inner team relationships start to develop and start to take shape. And that was well done, and I was very impressed with the overall arc of these first 4 episodes, and how everything is starting to come together. So with that said, that'll wrap up my thoughts on characters. My general thoughts on the episode are that I thought it was a light, fun, funny episode. These first 3 episodes were the planes that were about to crash, the kid that was sick, and then the bombings in the buildings. So very serious, very dire situations in these first 3 episodes. And then in this episode, we get a little bit of a break. We get a trip to Vegas. The show kind of lets its hair down and relaxes a little bit. And that was very important, I think, to establish that idea of the fact that not everything is going to be quite as serious. Not everything is going to be life or death or national security. At the end of the day, these people on the team are people, and they have their own stuff that they're looking out for. And I thought that was very, very cool to have that sort of shift in tone and to establish that not everything is going to be Homeland Security, FBI, and that at the end of the day, these people are independent of the Homeland Security and the FBI. Again, I want to say that I enjoyed the inter-team relationships for this episode. I thought the exploring Toby and Walter in particular was pretty cool to watch. I liked that we got an episode where Walter was taken out of the picture for most of the episode. I like that we got to see that without Walter, everybody on this team is a little bit lost. And then we saw Paige step up and become the new Walter, as Sylvester said. So again, I think they're setting up the theme here over these first couple of episodes that things are a little bit shaky and things are in a trial period and things have the potential to go south very quickly. I mean, we saw that in this episode when Walter got removed and everybody sort of lost their footing a little bit. We've seen that over the course of the episodes with Toby's gambling. We've seen Sylvester sort of rely on too many people, and we've seen Happy's antisocial behavior, and we've seen Paige in her financial struggles. And again, they're setting up over the course of these first 4 episodes the idea that not everybody, the idea that the team is, this is their last chance almost. And things are very shaky, and even Cabe is really putting all his eggs in this basket. So I like that we're seeing that a lot is on the line moving forward. And that kind of covers my thoughts on the episode. So with that said, just wrapping up here for the week, I want to thank you guys again for watching. If you want to watch more of these videos, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and you'll see them as they come out. Again, I do Gotham videos on Tuesday, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. videos on Wednesday, and Scorpion videos on Thursday. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to talk about the episode or talk about anything that I might have missed or might have mentioned that you want to talk about, comment down below and we will talk about the episode. I'm interested to see your thoughts on what they've set up over these first 4 episodes, what you think about Sylvester and why he's so reliant on other people, what you think about Paige being the second Walter, the second in command and the glue kind of that holds the team together, I think. What you think about Happy's development over these first few episodes, what you think about Toby's development over these first 4 episodes, and where do you think is going to be the point where the team faces their first real serious crisis? Because, you know, we've seen their problems over these first 4 episodes, but they've come out on top so far, and I think there's going to be a point where something's going to happen and they're not going to be able to quite easily recover. So what are your thoughts on that? Comment down below and let me know about it. Share these videos on Tumblr or Facebook or Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at the DH Reviews, and we can talk about things in a little bit more of an informal, more connected way. And I want to thank you guys. This has actually been 1 whole month of reviews here. And I want to thank those of you who have been watching from the start and those of you who have come along as we've gotten along here. Thanks very much for supporting these videos and for supporting me. It means quite a bit. And I look forward to doing more of these reviews with you. This first month was a very interesting growing period for the channel. I learned a lot. I've got a lot of feedback. And I'm looking very much forward to pushing the channel further and seeing what more we can do. I'm not going to get complacent or get reliant on the same old stuff. Just because we've got into a routine here with this first month of reviews, there's always things I can improve on, always things that we can add and change. So I look forward to refining things moving forward here. And with that being said, again, I want to thank you guys very much for watching this review, and I want you guys to know that I appreciate everything. And with that being said, I've been Dharma Helper, and this has been DH Reviews, and I want you guys to have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Uh-oh, plot twist, addition to the video. I forgot to mention, guys, that Constantine will be coming out October 24th, and those reviews will be up on the channel on Mondays starting October 24th. So if you want to watch that with me, go ahead and watch that with me and watch my reviews. I'm looking very much forward to that as a show coming up on NBC October 24th. So with that being said, this is the actual end to the video. Thanks very much for your support, guys, and have a good weekend. And I will see you starting next week with my Gotham reviews on Tuesday. Bye.